I'm gonna just show you my blue Xbox. I haven't really had any postings or anything regarding the actual hardware that's in this. The shitty thing is it's a 1.6 motherboard, but this is probably as modded as I can get it. So there we go. And then I flip it over here. I have a DVD dongle installed, and that's wired up to this controller port. You can't really see it, but what that is there's an IR, and it's hooked up to this pro switch here, so I can use the remote to turn it on and off. But what this DVD dongle does is it actually allows me to browse through the menus with the Xbox remote, so it's pretty cool. But for the IR, that goes all the way back to here, and it hooks up to that chip there. And what that is called is an Xerc 2XE, and that allows you to turn the Xbox on and off with the remote, so that's pretty cool. It also allows you to eject the DVD drive if you want it to with the remote as well. Now, I also have a little rare chip. They don't really sell them that often anywhere. It's really hard to find them now. But right here, this one's called a PulseVU, and what that does is I can hook up LEDs to it, and the LEDs will flash to the music, so they'll just pulse to the beat. So it's pretty cool. I have that hooked up to the eject button, and I have the Xerc hooked up to the power button. Now I also have something pretty cool too. So you know how the eject button LED has two colors. I got blue and red in this, so that's pretty cool. It's pretty basic, blue and red, green and red, kind of the same thing with the retail, but whatever. But I also did something really cool. It's kind of sneaky too. These controller ports here. Normally people install controller port LEDs, and that's pretty cool and all. But imagine bicolor LEDs the same as the eject button. And I have those hooked up to a little wire. It's blue and white. You can see it way down in the corner, and that comes out the back. Sorry about the camera movement. That comes out the back here, and then attaches. See if I can get a light going on here. It doesn't look like it. No, I can't get a light. Anyway, I have that hooked up, and now with the PulseVU, I have LEDs only in the gem. I wanted to get more, but what this does here is this little wire comes across, and it goes to the gem LED, which these LEDs will pulse to the music of the Xbox. And pretty much that's it for what's on the board. It's pretty neat for 1.6 anyway. But yeah, I do have a Pro Switch by Xecuter 3 with the Xecuter chip. So those are two rare parts that you can't really find that often anymore. Alright, so after like 15 minutes of trying to put this together, hopefully I didn't mess anything up, because those wires are delicate and I don't want to bring out the soldering iron. But anyway, I got it all back together, and I got a cord and of course my TV, and I got it hooked up to a SCART cable. It's not really that great. Component cable's better, but it's just a little preview. So I'll just plug this in, and right there, see that light fading? That's actually the Xerc initiating, so it's just like a LED fader. It's an extra feature. 1.6 is actually more compatible with it than the other ones, because 1.6 always has power running on the board while you have it plugged in, which is actually stupid. But now here, since this is hooked up to the PulseVU, this system here is all hooked up to the Xerc as well. So they're both pulsing together, basically, or in and out. So I'm just going to turn this on and I'll show you a little something. So I said it has a blue and red, so it's cycling through blue, red, pink, of course, or purple, whatever you want to call it. Blue screen. It's not going to load anything up because I don't have a hard drive in it or a DVD drive or anything. Accent cut out the shielding here and here because I actually have something else. It's like a side custom fan that builds into the side and it keeps it even cooler. But I'll show you the controller ports. This is what I meant. The controller ports blink with the eject LEDs. And the BIOS switch on the Xecuter 3. These are the banks that you can select the different BIOS. Basically, right now, the Xecuter 3 chip has a 2 megabyte storage space, and you can install two 1 megabyte BIOS. If you want to have both of them, you can have those two selected, or you can have that selected, and it's either or. So basically, or you can have, so this here is 2 megabyte, that's 1 megabyte, that's one of the banks, that's 1 megabyte, and that's one of the banks. If you want these three lit up, that's a 512 megabyte. If you have all four of them up, that's a 256. There's different combinations like those two, turn those off, turn those two on, these two on, like there's different banks. You can just do a bunch of stuff. This here is actually a flash protection, so you can turn it off, and you boot the recovery mode. You can flash the recovery BIOS on it, or you can flash your regular BIOS into any of these banks. But protection is pretty cool. On the Xecuter CE chips, they're actually red, they're not purple. They actually have an extra LED that goes with the switch here. I guess I can shut this off, and if you hold these two, that goes pink, and it brings up the recovery BIOS. Right now it's not going to bring anything up because it needs a hard drive and a DVD drive in order for it to boot. But yeah, that's what that does. I think that's really cool with the controller ports. So yeah, I'll boot this sucker up here in a second. I'll show you what I have on the dashboard. Okay, so I got it back up and running here. Have everything put together. Managed to snag myself a brand new Samsung DVD drive, so that's pretty lucky. Yeah, I was having little problems with the PulseVU. It wasn't working very well, and I guess the function stopped working, so I got to take it apart all over again. And right now I don't really feel like it. I'm getting tired, but anyway, I guess I want to show off that I had a yellow wire inside that attaches to the inside PCB, and that yellow wire goes in between the controller port wires. Basically, you take say the first controller port, you can select whatever one you wanted, but I selected the first one, and you cut the yellow wire that's attached to the controller port, and then you attach that yellow wire to a section that's on this PCB that turns it on. So then what you do is, there's always a yellow wire in a controller, and then what I did was rig that yellow wire in the controller to a switch, and that's what I previewed in my last video about this Xbox, was a little switch. I can zoom in on this. Yeah, so there's a switch. All I did was drill a hole, and I actually had an old PCB, and I took the switch off it, and I made it my own and glued it in there. So I also did this to the dongle. The controller dongle has an LED now. I kind of just drilled a hole, put an LED in it so it attaches to it. So when you turn it on, the LED will turn on as well. And then with the controller, of course, you press the button and it turns on. Turns the whole thing on. Also have LEDs in the controller. I mean, that's not really a big deal. I have a better setup now that I ordered some more resistors online. I ended up getting some transparent joysticks, which is kind of neat with the controller. And I put a halo symbol on it because it's a Halo 2 blue, ice blue console. I also have another controller. This one also has an LED dongle in it. And this one here, this is my special controller. It's kind of bright. I'm going to turn it down a bit. There we go. So I have these buttons here. These are actually Japanese buttons from the Japanese controller. They're actually different than North American controllers because these buttons over here, these regular ones, they don't have the see-through insides. They have like a white inside that's like solid, and when you drill it, it actually destroys the button. But these ones you can drill right through, right inside the plastic, just enough so you can pop an LED in there, and then it will work. I also got transparent blue joysticks with this one, not clear, they're blue. And then I got a transparent blue directional pad. And where I got those at is you can actually buy them for the Xbox 360 on eBay. They actually fit the same controller, so that's pretty neat. This one has a bunch of LEDs in it too, but I have multiple controllers like that. It's pretty neat. Oh, I booted it wrong. Alright. Let's fix this TV here. There we go. And I have my little Nigel Phoenix logo down there. That's kind of neat. Wait for the sucker to boot it up. Takes a while because I ordered these Apple hard drives from a guy online, and they boot really slow. I don't know why, but they just do. And a little preview video or intro video when it boots up. So this is my dashboard. This is one of my older themes that I built. I call it Helio Centec HD. Usually I have a component cable right now running a SCART, and you can see all the numbers are all jumbled up and stuff because when on HD they're actually spread apart and better. I have XBMC on here, Xbox Live Arcade, download content, a bunch of download content on here. This is actually just a 500 gig hard drive. I can just show you what I got on here. It's got preview videos. You can enlarge them or whatever. I actually have a media player. I built a better media player on my other themes. They go with Xbox games. I got a bunch of them here. It's not every single one, but it's like 300 gig worth. It's quite a bit. So I have also game updates for every game. I guess not every game, but whatever they released. This is my homebrew games. I got like, I don't know, like Duke Nukem, Mortal Kombat, Descent, Doom, AirTech, Hexen, Killer Instinct X, Mega Man, Quake 2, Quake 3, Stepmania, Super Mario War, and some Zelda games that are homebrew. So I got my emulators. It's pretty cool when I boot these up. So I got my Atari, my DOS box, virtual Dreamcast. That's only the virtual memory unit that's built in. Let's turn that down a bit. There you go, now you can see it. And then you have Game Boy Advance, Nintendo 64. I'll do a video for that. Regular Nintendo, Super Mario Run for the preview. Sega Genesis. Sony PlayStation, which is pretty cool. I like that. Super Nintendo. I actually took that video off YouTube and I put it on here. It was kind of neat because I liked it. Made a bunch of themes for those emulators too. I also have my applications. Some of these are really important for unlocking a hard drive and so forth. They get like config magic. They don't want to mess with that too much because then you'll mess up your soft mod. I'm not worried because I get a mod chip. Some DVD programs, Enigma video. That's pretty important because you can switch a PAL console to NTSC. It's pretty helpful. I got like FTP clients, Xbox partitioner. You don't want to mess with that because you can erase all your data. XDSL is actually a Linux boot. Boots up like a computer. It's pretty cool. Different dashboards. NODX, Avalanche, Evolution X, basic Microsoft dashboard, another Unix, user interface, an XBMC, and the XDK launcher that comes on debug consoles, and it's pretty neat. File Explorer and stuff like that. Sorry for this video being so long, I just want to preview everything I had on this console. So I actually have my themes that I've made. I can show you. So I've made quite a bit. I got like Apex, Crytek Genesis is a favorite. I'll boot that up. This is one of my best themes I've ever made. It's got a wicked video background. What else I got? Dark Tech Enhanced. This is one of my more advanced themes that I made when I was just starting out. Before these themes that I made, they used to be pretty popular. Emerald Complex is one of my favorites. It's got a pretty wild background. This TV sucks for friggin' quality. I wish I could do better. Xerc Virus is my most advanced theme I've ever made. This thing friggin' barely runs on an original console. You have to have an upgraded CPU and RAM for this sucker in order for it to run friggin' normal. I did like an animated background. I made that myself in After Effects on Adobe. I did all of the design on it and stuff. It took friggin' forever. Helium Centec. What else I got here? I got a ton of themes. I tried. This is actually a development. I tried to make a Crystal Pure White Edition theme. It didn't work out very well. It kind of sucked. I mean, it would have been wicked for a pure white theme. Actually, that one's all busted. I had a better version than that. Yeah, you can check out my other themes too. They're not that great, but I showed you the best ones. Where's Helium Centec? Put that back on the console. Okay, so I can show you something pretty cool. Let's go to the Super Nintendo emulator. That's my boot screen menu. Super Nintendo. So I don't know if you can't really hear the music. I don't think I'd turn it up anymore. Anyway, let's load up this here. See this light here? The PulseVU is pulsing the LEDs to the sound. Now what I can do is, see, this is making sound. Look at this. See it flashing? I wish I had a full ROM set for this. You get like thousands of games. This thing would take forever to freaking play through. But yeah, my PulseVU is working pretty good, yes, but I can't mess with the settings. Oh yeah, I also want to show you my remote. So there's a bunch of features on it. I don't think you can control the menu, this menu. I'll go back to the main screen. I should be able to move with the dongle. It should be working. I mean, I took this thing apart and I kind of messed everything up. It was actually a pretty delicate console. Okay, so this remote should work. Yeah, it's working. So I'm using the remote to change the menus. And I can select, go back. I'm pretty much do anything here. It's pretty neat for XBMC. I'll boot that up right now. So I can only move these menus with that DVD dongle attached to the Xerc. And the Xerc, you can hold stuff. I should open the Eject. Or I don't remember what button I switched to do it. What the hell is it? I thought it was this one. There it is, that's the one. So it's actually the play button that ejects. You gotta hold it for a second. And then it goes in. I can shut this off too. It's good for like a media player or anything you want to do. You can turn it right back on. Freaking start going at it. Yeah, this is my blue console. It's pretty neat. It's kind of my main console I just mess around with. I got other ones, but I'm not going to really show those to you because they're kind of collectible and I want to keep them to myself. But yeah, there she is. If you have any questions, just ask. Thanks. So I have a new mod that I installed in my Xbox. It's actually an LED underglow that goes underneath the front faceplate of the Xbox. And basically what I did was I attached a few wires to the PulseVU. I know I recently had the PulseVU hooked up to the LED gem on the Xbox there, but so what I have here, if I can zoom in, fix these up, are LED boards that I've ordered online. I might be getting some other colors since the green and black is all I got right now, but I'll be getting like, I don't know, red, blue, white. I think that's probably it, but it's pretty cool. Basically what you do, solder in an LED each one of these circles here, and there's a plus negative point there that you would solder in a 10 ohm resistor, and it should power up this whole board with just that one resistor. But as for that, on the back here, there's these squares. You need to attach those squares together in order for the whole board to be powered, because they're kind of separate linked. This board is also compatible with SMD LEDs as well. You don't have to use 3mm or 5mm, whatever you like to use, but it should all work. But basically, I guess I can show you. I have it all hooked up to the PulseVU, so it'll be fading when I turn on the Xbox. I just plug it in. the Xerc initiating, and then bang, I have the Underglow. It's fading with the gem LED, so it's all fading together. It's probably a lot of power running into the Xbox just plugging it in. This little thing here, it's actually a side fan cooler. I have the metal shielding cut inside so it can blow out air a little better. It keeps the Xbox pretty cool. So I'll just boot this up and it'll be playing the sound effects. So I had some problems with my Xbox there earlier. This gem LED kept touching the hard drive and the CD drive. I ended up almost frying my Xbox. I had to put some thick tape underneath the board so it won't touch anything. It was really annoying. Anyway. That's pretty cool that it's playing to the sound effects and the sounds, the music playing. We'll probably get some kind of song running up on here. So let's see here. I'm going into the files. Able to see a little better. It's actually the soundtrack from the Nintendo Wii USB loader GX. Kind of stole the sound file. Where's that song at? I'm trying to find it. That's not it. That's not it either. Where the heck is it? That's alright. Still don't sound well. There we go. Some little bass on every beat. So I think that's pretty cool. I can actually hook up probably about 150 LEDs to the PulseVU. I don't know if I can put in any more of these boards in this console, because there's just no way you could fit them up there, other than like maybe gluing or something crazy. But anyway, that's a preview of my Xbox. This is just my extra, just kicking around. So since my Xbox is back to normal, and since I took it apart there before, I did mess up a bunch of wires, and the Xerc wasn't working. Nothing was working basically, and it was driving me crazy. And like I said, the gem LED was causing some issues, touching some other stuff and shorting out. Basically now, since the Xbox is built, it's back to normal that I know of anyway. I can show the functionality of the PulseVU and the Xerc, and since I said there before, these buttons are connected to those two chips. With the PulseVU, the console has to be turned on. I mean, you can turn it off, but it'll just turn back on. There's always the eject button. I don't like the fact that when you have to use the functionality of the PulseVU, it ejects. I also had an idea here to drill two holes and put in a button, or those two buttons there, to replace the functionality of just using these, because this should be only for eject and only for power. Then I could have the Xerc and the PulseVU hooked up to two switches on the side, which would be pretty cool. But anyway, I'll turn the console on, and of course the eject. So you hold this down, and it'll start flashing. So that's mode 0, mode 1, mode 2. And basically it goes through all these modes. It goes right to 15. The flashing is actually different sequences, so it'll be short flash and long flash. You can tell which mode that you're on. You can let go, and then it goes right to the mode. I guess this mode here is the LEDs are dim, but they're on. You can change it back to whatever you want. You can turn it off. There. Now the lights aren't even on. It's just normal Xbox. Or you can just turn it back the way it was. So you can do whatever you want with it. And what you can do is when you shut the console off, you can have it fade. You can shut the lights off. You can have it on. It's the same as when you turn it on. So it actually has two separate sections on the PulseVU that it uses with the modes. So that's pretty neat. That's what it does. With the Xerc functionality, it's a little different. It's more or less for the remote functionality. So you can sync up the remote with the Xerc functionality. So this one, the console has to be on. So you hold the power button down, and you'll see the Xerc flashing, and then immediately you let go, and it goes dim. So right now I can use the remote and do a functional thing with it. So I can make the play button turn it on if I want. I can make number 2 turn it on, or I can make, I don't know, number 3 make it eject, wherever I want it. There's different modes with the Xerc. I guess there's a specific mode if you had a SmartX chip that you can boot right to the OS with the remote. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's what the Xerc does. So normally it would just it should fade, like that's what it normally would do. But yeah, those are the functionalities of the Xerc and the PulseVU. The information is online. If you want to search it up, you can. These chips are actually hard to find, but if you're looking for an Xerc 2xe chip, there's 2 people that you can probably get a hold of. One person is on ISO Zone, or Xbox ISO Zone. It's usually like the first link in Google. And there's a guy called Floyd's the Barber. He makes these Xerc chips, and that's what's in this right now. I also got some upgraded boards that you can go on, either Assembler, XBMC for Xbox. Those 2 sites are really popular. But the main person you want to get a hold of is an N64 freak. He sells the Xerc chips. His is a little more condensed. The chips are a lot smaller. They're not big and fat like the ones that are the one that's in there. So he does really good work on his boards. He also sells upgraded boards if you want to buy upgraded RAM or upgraded CPU processor. And those things, they overheat. But he's done such a great job that they keep an actual good temperature. There used to be a Chinese guy, I think he was Chinese or Japanese, I can't remember, but his name was Trusty. He made these boards. I don't really want to like rip too much on his work, but I've had some really bad experiences with his boards, especially with some people selling his boards and saying that they're DreamX boards. That's a whole other story, basically, with DreamX. DreamX are made from a company called Friendtech. They used to make retail Xboxes that were upgraded, and they had a speed switch on the side. But Trusty's was basically to replicate that idea, and his heatsink that was on the CPU was really big. It had a fan on top of it. It wasn't really that great. I remember when I first got mine, the heatsink fell off. It wasn't screwed in very well. The Xbox was overheating. It was going over like, I don't know, 85 degrees Celsius. It was crazy. But yeah, if you want to get a really good upgraded board, you go to N64 Freak, because his CPUs are awesome, and I definitely recommend all of his work to anybody who is looking to upgrade their Xbox. So it's pretty sweet. But yeah, definitely look into whatever you want to look into on Google. It's PulseVU 2X and Xerc 2XE. And they have different installation instructions and stuff on there if you ever want to install it on your motherboard. They also have like the modes that you can choose from. It has all the instructions, so it all works out. But yeah, thanks for taking the time to listen to me yap about Xbox, I guess.